Hello everyone. Thanks for the very encouraging response I've been receiving on the previous talks of this series. My idea is to return back to the society all that I've learnt, believed and practiced. And if in doing so I can make some people happy, I will feel very great about it. So please share your feedback with me. Let's get on with talk 4 of the series, which is on conquering the fear of failure. In my last talk I had highlighted that the possible response after the initial pause due to a threat, real or perceived, can be fight the threat, flee or flight or run away from the threat, and freeze. Freeze is entering the fear of failure, and I had also said that this state is best avoided. But the good news, friends, is there is nothing terrible about having entered the fear of failure. It can be easily overcome by following some very practical steps which I shall cover with discipline, grit and confidence. So let's start with examining the phrase fear of failure. Fear and its facets I covered in my last talk, so it all comes down to failure. I prefer to define failure as lack of success or failing to achieve your goals. So it's all about, friends, goal setting. How do you set your goals? More about it a little later in the talk. A person living with fear of failure starts believing that nothing can change the life. This is all destined, and therefore there is no attempt to do anything new, or in fact what you have your own strengths and competencies, one starts even lying low on that. The symptoms that you can see or feel yourself if you have entered the fear of failure zone is the anxiety levels increase, the attention span reduces, listening reduces. The person may put on a facade that everything is going on okay, but the reality is different. There is obvious reluctance to try out new ideas. There is lack of enthusiasm. Person hesitates to share own views and perspectives. There is increased procrastination. Decisions may get delayed or may not even get taken, and when taken can be frequently changed without sufficient cause or reasoning. Self-esteem and self-confidence takes a beating. This can be easily identified because such persons tend to say, this is not my cup of tea, I can't do it, I'm not cut for it. There is an increased tendency to blame others or self for a failure. The social circle of these people starts shrinking. There is no attempt to maintain a long-lasting and healthy relationships. In effect, friends, such persons tend to live within their comfort zone without even realizing that their comfort zone is gradually shrinking. Psychologists have identified some reasons why people tend to enter the fear of failure zone. People who have faced excessive criticism during their childhood from parents, teachers, friends, siblings, anyone. Some traumatic experiences which people may have had in the past. Repeated failures. This again, friends, boils down to how you have set your goals. Perfectionism is another reason. People who try to be perfectionists are their biggest enemies of their effectiveness. They only try to do things when they are 100% sure. As a result, they never try out new ideas. And lastly, friends, people having very high values and beliefs. We humans seldom sit down and evaluate our values and beliefs. So they may be actually too high. Remember, values and beliefs change in the society, personal and professional life. So sit down, evaluate your values and beliefs. What was not done some time ago cannot remain undone forever. Some 3 decades ago, nobody in Indian Army would have accepted a lady as a superior officer, but today it is done. So friends, do not hesitate to question your values and beliefs. Let's come to some simple steps which we can take. Like I had said, the first and foremost thing is to set your goals with great amount of thought. Use positive words when you set your goals. Say you have a tendency to procrastinate. Instead of setting a goal that I will not defer things which are important to me, set the goal that I will manage my time more efficiently and focus on important tasks. I call such goals accomplishment goals. They infuse positivity, whereas negatively worded goals keep reminding you of a weakness and therefore infuse negativity. They are, avoidance goals. Next step, friends, is to set small goals. Because small goals can easily be achieved in a realistic time frame, and success will breed success. Before you sit down to set goals, identify all possible gains that you can have through an experience. Say you are going for an interview. What are the possible gains? You would see a formal environment of an interview. You will learn or identify whether you made a great bang-on start to an interview. You will identify the types of questions that are being asked, how many are on your domain skills, how many are on your life skills or soft skills. You will be able to make an impact over the interview, and you also get the probability that you will get selected. So if there are so many gains, why not set so many goals? That I will have a learning experience through this interview, rather than just set one goal that I must get selected. When you start living life with learning as purpose, success is assured, friends. There will be something to learn. Okay. Remember the saying, plan for the best and be prepared for the worst. So plan well, set small goals, set out to learn in your life, set accomplishment goals, strive to achieve them, and success is guaranteed. Remember, friends, success enhances your intrinsic or self-motivation, which is a very, very important input skill for most of the life skills. So I have decided that my next talk of the series will be on self-motivation. The next practical step, friends, is to accept fear of failure or failure part of your life. Make failure your friend. From every failure there are lessons to be learned. Learn those lessons and dump the event. There is no point in seeing any failure, big or small, as the end of the life or end of this world. It is up to you to identify your opportunities and make best use of them. When one door closes, at least one more opens. Every failure, friends, will make you stronger If you accept it positively as part of your life, don't get overawed by failures. I would also strongly recommend that you learn from others. Read the biographies of successful people, and you will realize that they have also faced so many failures in life where before the success story got written. The most important difference between successful and unsuccessful people is the way they handle failures. Winners draw inspiration while losers get defeated by failures. Also, like I've been telling, make best use of your support system. Build a strong support system and make best use of it, particularly when you are in a high levels of anxiety and feeling that failure may happen. To conclude, friends, I would say any meaningful life lived will have a series of failures. Success cannot be 100% in any person's life. So make fear and failure your friends. Accept them as positive inputs which make you stronger and make you do better things. By this, a more meaningful, accomplished life you will live. So friends, till my next talk, which will be on self-motivation, stay healthy, happy, good luck, Godspeed.